Good afternoon and thank you for joining Luntha Television. It's time for news updates and you're with me, Charity Chilanga. At the Angelus, Pope Leo XIV reminded the faithful that God is close to humanity, urging Christians to rediscover the gift of baptism and to witness to it with joy. Addressing pilgrims in St. Peter's Square on the feast of the baptism of the Lord, the Pope said the celebration marks the end of the Christmas season and the beginning of ordinary time. Reflecting on Jesus' baptism in the Jordan, Pope Leo said God does not look at the world from afar, but enters history and touches human lives, wounds, and hopes. The Pope recalled that baptism frees believers from sin, makes them children of God, and brings them into the life of the Church, the people of God drawn from every nation. He also recalled baptizing 20 newborns earlier in the Sistine Chapel and encouraged the faithful to remember the gift they have received and to live it with joy and consistency. Minister of Finance Joseph Manavega says the 2026-2027 national budget will be anchored on the 10-year Malawi Implementation Plan (MIP), which is part of the Malawi 2063 development strategy. Manavega has made these remarks in Mzuzu during a pre-budget consultation meeting. He said public debt is choking the country's economic growth as it has risen to about 28 trillion kwacha from 4 trillion kwacha in 2020. Manavega added that the government of President Professor Thabita Mutharika has put in place a number of measures aimed at putting the country's economy back on track. He said the reforms include cutting government expenditure and increasing revenue collection. Among the major projects the government will focus on in the northern region are the Rumpi Ntalile Chitipa Road, Mombela University, Mzuzu Airport, and the Chiweta Karonga Road. Malawi National Examination Board (MANEB) has reopened both e-registration and e-payment platforms for the 2026 examinations. The platforms were initially closed on January 31st last year. MANEB Executive Director Dorothy Nampora says the development has been necessitated by an increase in examination registration-related queries. In a statement, MANEB says the reopening of the registration platforms will allow examination centers to register new candidates and correct errors made during the initial registration process. The statement further notes that the window will also benefit candidates, parents, and guardians who failed to pay the applicable examination fees within the initial payment period, allowing them to settle their outstanding balances. MANEB says the platform will stay open from 5 o'clock in the morning to 12 midnight on 12 January. Commandant of the Malawi Defense Force MDF Command and Staff College, Major General Vincent Moyo, has challenged senior military officers to deepen their research across various fields, noting that the military plays a critical role beyond traditional security functions. Moyo made the remarks in Salima District during the opening of the 5th Command and Senior Staff course, which will run for 46 months. He said the program is designed to prepare officers for high command, urging them to go beyond discipline and integrity by embracing research and critical thinking. The course has attracted 31 participants drawn from 6 African countries, including Malawi, Zambia, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Uganda, and Kenya. And in other news, as the nationwide protests in Iran entered their third week, Tehran has warned that it will strike back if the United States attacks. U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly threatened to intervene to protect the demonstrators amid a deadly crackdown by security forces. Iran's parliament speaker Mohammad Bakr Karibaf warned that Israel, along with U.S. military and its shipping centers in the region, would become legitimate targets. And that's all we had for now. You've been with me, Charity Shalanga. Good afternoon.